All right, good morning. Happy Friday. Happy first day of spring. We made it. I wanted to start here with the time lapse of the sunrise. Are you kidding me? Did you see that flash of red? Absolutely stunning. And then the clouds moved in, kind of graying things up through later morning. But it was a nice start to the day. I felt a little bit dramatic, if I'm honest, having the coat. It was a lot warmer than it was on our Thursday morning. Throughout the morning show, we ranged anywhere from 8 to as much as 20 degrees warmer than we were Thursday morning. So if you headed out without the layer this morning, good for you. You probably didn't need it. I will say I am in for John just today. He will be back. He emceed an event in, I believe, Brainerd last night. He was up there emceeing the Taste of the Lakes event. So it was a late night for him. You got to be up real early, dark and early on this shift. So we kind of subbed out for that so that he could get some rest after that today. But do not worry, he will be back next week. And if you want to see pics from the event and of course more updates from John weather-wise, you can head over to his Facebook page. But he will be back. Sunrise today was at 7:15. Sunset's going to be at almost 7:30. So with that official first day of spring being today, we're going to continue seeing days longer after this. Now today's the spring equinox, also called the vernal equinox, also called the first day of astronomical spring. There's a bunch of different names for it, but equinox can commonly lead to a misconception of completely equal parts light and dark on this date. Now, I'll be honest, I actually thought this was the case. I thought that on the equinox, we had completely equal parts of light and darkness. It's close, but it's not exact. So for today, the total day length, meaning the amount of time that we have with daylight, is 12 hours, 9 minutes, and 43 seconds. Enjoy every little bit of that because today's going to be a really nice day. And if you like the warmth, you're really going to like tomorrow. Tomorrow's looking even better. But that's a little bit about the equinox. Now, there's a certain time of day that spring actually starts. So it's at 9:46 a.m. If you're watching this, it already happened, but yeah, that's the time that the sun's rays are directly overhead. So seeing more of that sunshine. And again, there are multiple springs that we talk about. We talk about meteorological spring. That starts on the 1st of March. So if you are thinking to yourself, wait a second, I thought I heard you guys say that spring had started. There's multiple types, so it can get a little bit convoluted. Meteorological spring starts on the 1st of March, meteorological summer starts on June 1st, and then the astronomical springs, summers, falls, winters are a little bit different. So today marks the start of astronomical spring. I sometimes call it official spring because it's the one that you see on your calendar. So spring, according to the calendar, starts today. And it really just signals when we start seeing those longer days. And of course, at this point, we're also looking at temperatures getting warmer on average. The average high March 15th is 41 degrees. By the 1st of April, we should make it up to 50. This is just on average. 57 by April 15th. By May 1st, 64. 69 by May 15th. 75 by June 1st, and so on. In the short term, again, spring equinox today. We've talked plenty about that. We're going to see continued melting today. Very warm tomorrow. So even warmer than today, in fact, by about 10 degrees probably. And then we get sharply cooler into our Sunday. That is a cool down that you're going to notice. This morning, pretty comfy. Our warmest temperatures actually kicked in just after midnight. We were in the low 50s, and then we got a little bit cooler, as tends to be the case. It's always the coolest in those couple of hours just leading up to sunrise. Official lowest temperatures that we saw today were 44 for the Twin Cities, mid-40s in Blaine, Cambridge, Princeton, a little bit cooler. We also saw some fog there. We also saw fog in Osceola. Visibility out there was reduced down to a half mile during the very early morning commute. So about 4 or 5 a.m. today, we saw some patchy, dense fog. It was a chilly start for International Falls, 28 there, 42 down in Rochester, 43 in Mankato this morning, right at freezing for Thief River Falls. Your low temperature was 32, 34 in Bemidji. So a little bit of a mixed bag. Generally speaking, cooler up north, mild here in the Twin Cities, mild down to the south as well. Moving into today, we'll have a mix of both clouds and sun, and it's warm by March standards. Lower 60s, not breaking any records, but it's going to feel good. I expect to see a lot of people out and about, and even more so tomorrow. As we get into the first half of our weekend, low 70s for the Twin Cities. Even could see some 80s further to the south. Laverne, some models have you in the lower 90s. Meanwhile, up to the north, 50s in Duluth, 60s in Grand Rapids, close to 70 in Brainerd, 40s for International Falls. We're going to see some light showers there tomorrow morning, 44 in Thief River Falls, 63 in Moorhead. Once you get north of the Twin Cities, you're going to see a little bit more of a mixed bag. But for us and areas off to the south along 35, it is going to be a very warm day. In fact, look at areas out to the west, 80s. For those folks in Wyoming, we have red flag warnings. They have had a serious lack of snow this season. Same with Colorado. They've also got red flag warnings. So the snow melting and the warm temperatures is creating some pretty big issues for folks out to the west. Montana even, temperatures in the upper 60s tomorrow. But for today, parts of Montana are under avalanche alerts just because all of the rainfall that they've had and the rapid melting is making for some really dangerous conditions in the backcountry. For us here locally, I'm not expecting any of that, thank goodness, but it is going to be a little bit of a shock to the system. Maybe in a good way for tomorrow. We're going to like that warm up, lower 70s, not breaking any records, but we'll kind of be in the neighborhood. The record is 76. That was set back in 1938. And then for our Sunday, forecasting 44. So take a second and just register that cool down. Don't be surprised when it comes, even though it will be a little bit shocking. 70s down to the 40s. We're losing almost 30 degrees, but really it's kind of a humbling cool down because it just brings us back down to average. So maybe you're heading out for the weekend, maybe getting a little bit of a weekend getaway. I show you this because you're going to need to pack accordingly. You're going to need maybe your spring clothes and your winter clothes because today looks good, tomorrow looks even better, but don't expect it to be in the 50s, upper 60s all weekend. No, we're going to cool down to the 30s on Sunday. So by Sunday in Duluth, we've got clouds. Temperatures will be below freezing for Brainerd Lakes. We've got temperatures in the upper 30s on Sunday, same for Detroit Lakes, and even for Hayward, we're cooling down to right about freezing on your Sunday. So if you have a weekend getaway planned, just make sure that you are packing accordingly. Let me walk you through your microcast for today. Clouds lifting to the north into the afternoon. We'll still see some occasional cloud cover here in the metro. Then clouds thicken up again as we get into nightfall. Tonight, sunset is at 7:25. Some passing showers, maybe even some light flurries to the north, and I'm talking way north of Grand Rapids. That's going to be early Saturday morning. There's the timestamp, 6:45 in the morning. We are completely dry here in the Twin Cities. We could see some clouds cover to start our day, but then a whole lot of sunshine filling in by the afternoon. High temperatures expected to make it into the lower 70s. Enjoy it while it lasts because it is short-lived. Clouds come barreling back in for our Sunday morning, and we will be sharply cooler. So 61 today, 71 tomorrow, down into the 40s on our Sunday. Cooler to say the least. I do want to address our snow depth because less than a week ago, last Sunday, we saw the biggest snowfall of the season so far. Snowfall at MSP was 8.8, nearly 9 inches. And for places like western Wisconsin, it was kind of this area here that I'm circling. Those folks saw snow totals 17 all the way up to 19 inches. But since then, a lot has changed. We've warmed up quite a bit and we've melted a lot of that snow that we saw. So already snowpack, snow depth, whatever you want to call it, has been seriously reduced here across the state. And we are going to continue chipping away at that snow depth over today, tomorrow, even into next week because we're not going to be in the freezer at all. Highs are going to be in the 60s today, 70s tomorrow, and then we're in the 40s and 50s all of next week. Even yesterday, we were in the 50s, 52 in Minneapolis, 50 in International Falls. Here's why we don't have any snowpack out to the west. 70s and 80s. It'd be impossible to have any snowpack out to the west with those temperatures. So the melting will continue. We're going to see a lot of puddles, a lot of mud here locally. Snow depth over the last 2 weeks has changed a lot, right? We had barely any. It was sitting at a trace for the longest time. And then with all of that snow that we got last Sunday, we saw that snow depth spike to 7-8 inches. Notice how it didn't last more than 4 days. By the 19th, which was yesterday, we dropped down to 3 inches, so we did a lot of melting. Today, we're going to melt even more, and even by tomorrow, that snow depth might be back down to 0. Then over the next 6 to 10 days, we're going to see a lot of the same. So Minneapolis, right kind of in the middle. We're going to see cooler temperatures for the Arrowhead, for International Falls, warmer temperatures for that southwestern corner of the state that just cannot handle, but just cannot hang on to any snowpack. And then even if we extend this further out through the next 8 to 14 days, that takes us beyond our 7-day, really all the way to the end of the month. We're seeing those warmer than normal temperatures creep into the metro, and then we are near normal for the gray area, which includes areas north of Minneapolis and into parts of western and northern Wisconsin. So that's kind of a preview of what is to come. Satellite radar looking quiet for now, and this is the culprit for the warm up. It's this high pressure keeping all that precipitation to the north, keeping things very warm, windy, dry for places like Colorado, for Wyoming. We talked about this a couple minutes ago, red flag warnings there. And then if you look up into Montana in yellow, those are wind advisories, but in blue, that's actually an avalanche advisory. So areas in that part of Montana have seen a lot of rapid melting, a lot of rain, and that can make avalanche conditions very dangerous. Fortunately, no such alerts here on the home front, but we've got some warm weather headed our way. Even if it's just a couple days of it, I have confidence that folks will be out and about enjoying it. 61 today in the Twin Cities, 64 for Rochester. We'll go 61 in Menominee, 57 in Luck, about 54 in Hayward today. Cooler up to the north and into the Arrowhead, but likely still above average for them. 42 today in Grand Marais, 45 in International Falls, 46 in Thief River Falls. Laverne, always a hot spot, 77 today, 68 in Marshall, 65 in Ortonville. You get a little bit of a closer look into the metro. It's looking like upper 50s and lower 60s, regardless of where you are today. And if you're somebody who looks closely at the icons, you'll notice that there are both clouds and there's also sunshine. So we're going to see a little bit of both today, but generally the range is not huge. The warmest we see in the metro, 64. The coolest we see, 58. Now let's talk about the weekend. Saturday, lots of sunshine. Even though we could start the day with a few clouds, lots of that clear sky will build in during the afternoon. We should get up to 71. Not only will that be our first 70 degree of the year, it'll be our warmest temperature of the year as well. And it won't be a record breaker, but it will certainly be warm. Sunday, big changes. We cool by nearly 30 degrees, so you will notice that. And you'll also notice a big increase in cloud cover. So those clouds roll in late Saturday night into Sunday morning, and they will keep us certainly on the cool side for the duration of our Sunday. Here's your 7-day forecast. Let's go ahead and put it all together. Once again, today is the spring equinox, so the official start of spring is today, and those temperatures must have gotten the memo because we're hitting 61 today, 71 tomorrow. Nice sunny day tomorrow, and then more clouds roll in behind it. So Sunday, more clouds, 44 for a high, little bit of a humbling cool down, bringing us back to normal for this time of year. Monday, bright, but still kind of on the cool side, 46. Tuesday, we have highs right near 50, so actually climbing above normal, with a few liquid showers possible. I say liquid because this time of year we still could get snow, and we still could get snow even through the end of the month, even through the early part of April. It is not out of the realm of possibility, but for now, all I'm seeing in your extended forecast is just some rain. And even then, I'm not going to guarantee it. There's just a chance as we get into the middle of next week. Thursday, looking very seasonable next week. 48 degrees for a high, 37 for a low, and on average, lows are still in at the upper 20s. So this is not a bad 7-day forecast for that first day of spring. Here's another look at your weekend. I know that's what we're all planning for, the first official weekend of spring. Tomorrow, regardless of whether or not we hit those 70s, and I've been a little back and forth on it myself, it will be the warmest day of the year so far. Not hitting a record, but we've got plenty of sunshine. Enjoy that, and then make sure that you have a light jacket to throw on for your Sunday. Notably cooler there with the high only in the 40s. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great day.